Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our Wednesday evening games here at the Shenandoah Esports Arena, located in beautiful Winchester, Virginia. We've got a good one here tonight for you folks. A very important game for our Rocket League team. We can see them warming up here on your screens. This is going to be a do-or-die moment for either of these teams. The Hornets going up against Montreal here. Both of these teams sitting at 3-3 in the standings. Pretty much the exact same game differential as well. So whoever comes out on top in this matchup here today will punch their ticket into playoffs here in NECC Division III. I'm Ben Kincaid, joined by Chris Clayton, and we cannot wait to get this one underway.
Yeah, big one on our hands here tonight. I mean, this is what you dream of. This is usually where we say, you're laying in your bed at night, right, dreaming of hitting the game winner, right? This is that type of vibe, except esports isn't quite like that. I don't think our players were young enough to be growing up on Rocket League. That's fair. Maybe this is a relatively old game. But nonetheless, point still stands, right? This is exactly what you think of when you think of the most intense environment you can be in, with the stakes as high as they get. Win and you're in, lose and you're out. It's as simple as that. And nothing else this season matters anymore other than going 1-0 today.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. I believe we've played this team, I think, twice throughout our history with this team, and I believe we've split both times, if I'm not mistaken. So this has all the workings to be a very, very close series. So take a quick look at what the group looks like here tonight, of why this game is so important.
Yeah, you see it for yourself, right? Splitting down the middle, 4-5, tied at 3-3. UCF also at 3-3, likely maybe watching our stream, awaiting the results of this game, because I guarantee this affects them just as much. But yeah, the stakes could not be any higher. This series determining which of these two teams will stay above the 500 mark and which will fall out of playoffs and not see their season continue.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one here as we take a quick peek at what the head-to-head looks like between these rosters, right? Of course, both teams 3-3 playing 500 ball, 17-16 in favor of SU here, with the win columns 15 and 16 on the other side for Montreal. So both of these teams pretty darn even, if I do say so myself. This is an incredibly, incredibly close series that we have here tonight.
Yeah, and something so interesting, too, is that this whole regular season in NECC has been best of sevens, right? We've played a lot of Rocket League up to this point in the season. 17-16 on the side of Shenandoah, 15-16 on the side of Montreal, right? That's a lot of Rocket League that either team could have used as an opportunity to pull away or to, separate themselves from the pack. But both teams finding themselves in a very similar situation over 30 games into the season, and now they're a bit too close for comfort, right? This is where it matters. All of a sudden, all 33 of those games don't matter. There's only ones that do are the next 4 to 7, depending on how we show out.
Yeah, as we take a quick look at what the rosters look like here tonight as well, Robert Zidiame is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Zidiame or Diame. I'm going to go Diame. Yeah, Fabio are the three players here on the side of Montreal, as we take a quick look on the side of SU as well. This is the same roster that we've had, of course, all year long, in Kiazi, Mango, and Pagani trying to punch their ticket to continue their season.
Yeah, no surprises here from the SU lineup. This team has had a full semester's worth of development and then some. This team has been together for a long time. Obviously, Pagani there on the right coming in and out of the lineup a couple times depending on, various scenarios, scheduling and all that over the last couple semesters. But no real surprises, right? They've had this semester completely together with no interruptions, and they've developed quite a bit. I believe this team, I would feel comfortable saying that this team has changed a lot over the last, how many months have we been here? Like 3 or 4?
3, yeah, just about.
And I certainly hope I can say that it is a better version of themselves than we saw all those months ago. This team going through some of their own struggles, some sort of identity issues almost, as what we were so used to seeing in previous semesters seem to change so drastically. But now, an opportunity to prove where they're at, and we say it all the time, right? If none of it matters until it matters, right?
Yeah,
Can you do it when it matters? This is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's definitely a big moment for SU Rocket League, trying to join other SU teams that have already punched their ticket into playoffs, right? SU Smash and NECC Division I just secured their spot moving into playoffs. And I believe our Marvel Rivals as well, with the win last night, punched their ticket to playoffs as well. The first iteration of our Marvel Rivals team making playoffs in, I believe, Division VI, looking for a promotion to Division V for NECC as well. So a lot of our teams are succeeding this year, and SU Rocket League is one win away from being able to do the same thing and have 3 teams locked in towards playoffs here for the Hornets. So it'll be awesome to see if that happens, because that means we have a lot more games to bring you if we have all 3 teams here in playoffs.
Yeah, we say it all the time, right? More Rocket League is better, and we've been graced with best of 7 this year in NECC, so we've gotten to see a lot of Rocket League, all the way back to week 1. It feels like yesterday going to Game 7 against Georgia. Look, there's been a lot of games played across all of our teams. Smash especially really pulling away this year and cementing themselves as one of the top teams in the country in the collegiate space. Rocket League just trying to get over that hump, right? NECC has been a split, although need I remind you, they are reigning national champions in Division IV, right? This was harder competition all year long for this team, and they have very much held their own, held their water throughout the entire season. But now it would be great. It would be a very exciting moment for this team to not only prove that they belong in this division, but that they can hang with the best in this division.
Yeah, I mean, and right now it's been kind of that coin flippy season, right? They started off rough, and they were able to eventually win that game up against Georgia, but it went the full 7 games, right? They're like, ooh, okay, these guys, this is a different breed of gameplay that we are having to go up against here, right? I mean, Division IV national champions, they won that soundly all season long. I believe they might have gone undefeated in that season as well. They might have dropped 1 or 2 games along the way, but nonetheless, it was pure dominance from the Hornets in Division IV, and now trying to make themselves known here in Division III as well with the win here tonight. As we go into our fly-through, that gives me some signals that we are getting pretty close to going into this Game 1 kickoff.
Yeah, 7:03 local time here. These teams are giddy to get into this game, so we won't waste any more time. It's been a while since you and I have checked in with this team. We took a bit of a break, but the team certainly did not, so I'm excited to get back onto the field and see how the guys have been looking since we left.
Pagani, the one to take it off into that corner, drops it down beautifully for Kiazi, but Robert is there for the save. Another cross going into that far corner. Mango with the demo there as well. Can't get anything going. Another drop down pass from Robert, but Fabio unable to follow up thus far. Pretty slow start for both of these teams. A couple shots on goal going both ways, and crosses as well, trying to get tossed into the mix here with both of these teams. But right now, just kind of feeling out the playing ground, where people are lying, where positions are getting set up, what defenses look like in this first minute of game one.
Yeah, no major surprises so far, and that's good news for both of these teams, right? You certainly never want to be on the receiving end of an early, quick start, especially in Rocket League, because you know that all of these games and so many of these teams we've seen can be so momentum-based, and you know, if you're seeing a goal go in within 20 seconds of game one, that's a pretty scary start. But both of these teams holding their own so far, a bit of back and forth both directions, as we see a demo there on the Montreal side. Kiazi will have an opportunity, takes it himself, and Pagani with the follow-up is going to put it on target, and Diami gets one bad touch the wrong direction, and it goes right into the net.
Yeah, I mean, Kiazi able to pop that one up off the hook, goes for the shot, and then Pagani already up in the air to find that lower angle. No one from Montreal back on the defensive side to try to support, assuming that the ball is going to get cleared, and it does not. Pagani able to capitalize on that, and looking for another one here again. The shot going just wide. Fabio, the one there to push it off back into SU's half of the pitch. It's good to see Pagani getting active early here as well. Not usually the goal scorer that we see on this SU squad.
Yeah, and a great hustle play there by Kiazi too to get to the corner on a bit of a fast break, but now a break the other direction. Pagani puts it almost on target, can't quite get the follow-up off his own touch though, so the ball will bounce back into the hands of Shenandoah. They look to put one more in. Kiazi unable to finish, and now Diami does get the one touch upfield up to a teammate that I did not even see with a great shot there, but again, SU able to retreat in time to avoid any danger.
Yeah, that's 2 times in a row now, though, that Montreal on the defensive end almost have an open net. That shot going just wide there for Robert, trying to tie this one up as we approach the second half of this game. But yeah, there's been some pretty large holes in Montreal's defense thus far, but SU just unable to capitalize on them. Kiazi able to intercept that one and take that one all the way, and that is one of those moments, right? Mango with the touch or early in that kind of challenge in that half of the field puts it right onto Kiazi's car.
Yeah, I have to say that was a weird play from Montreal. Robert and Diami going for a team pinch or maybe just a miscommunication, but both committing to the ball, and it ends up right in Kiazi's hands with nobody in front of him, and nobody able to get back in time either. So it leads to a 2-goal lead, an uncomfortable start for Montreal, but still 2 whole minutes of Rocket League left, and excuse me, 2 minutes left and make it a 3-goal difference separating these two teams, and you see it in the cans. The team's starting to feel it now.
And that's another one, right? Pagani with a beautiful clear. Mango as well with that pass as well, right on the money. Robert was trying to get that challenge at midfield, beat Pagani to the ball, but just couldn't quite get the Pagani again. Goes up, tries to win out on the 50-50, but can't quite get through Diame there in that scenario. But still with a 3-0 lead and strong defense thus far, SU looking good with these final 2 minutes still to play.
Yeah, certainly not the start that Montreal would have liked, but again, good news. This is a best of 7. So much Rocket League left to be played here tonight, as they do get a good team play there. Diami gets up high and gets the touch he wanted, but not on target. So tough break for Montreal, and we'll see if there's a counterattack as Mango tries to intercept, but Robert plays it safe. One more touch from Diami goes just high. And again, a couple close calls from Montreal have looked good, but none of them finding their way home yet.
Yeah, I like the touch that Diami was going for there, but just couldn't quite find that angle. Too much on the top of the hood and not too far forward as you would want that ball to be touched instead. But instead, it's Kiazi trying to get some offensive momentum. A trade coming through on the demos makes it a 2v2 for the time being. Another one responded. Pagani trying to fight out of this corner in these final minutes. Montreal now trying to find anything on the offensive end here with 45 seconds to go across, but an immediate clear coming through from Pagani.
Yeah, again, great communication from SU. A lot of confident decision-making I'm seeing from the team playing as a unit, and that's something that I can't say I've seen every week from this team. So that's exciting to see, especially now with the stakes as high as they are. Again, winning you're in, losing you're out. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, and team clearly unshaken by it so far as the clock approaches triple zeros. SU will add one more to the ticker as this one is comfortably in the Hornets' hands.
Yeah, Mango getting on the board there as well in these final seconds of game number 1. 4-0 now. Montreal struggling on this offensive side, but also on this defensive side. A lot of holes getting opened up by SU and recognized and taking advantage of these opportunities that they have been seeing in this game number 1. There's been a few missed opportunities here and there, but still there's been so much follow-up from SU that they haven't really had to worry about it a whole lot. Zeros on the clock, a shot on goal from Robert there. Kiazi is the one there with the save. Mango just trying to find the ground and will be able to do so. A 4-0 game series lead here for SU.
Yeah, I think you're onto it. You've mentioned that. Yeah, there's just been some interesting mistakes from this Montreal squad, and so far I would not say that SU is exactly like outplaying them or outspeeding them or anything like that. It has just been a couple individual moments where Montreal has been pretty out of place, and SU the ones playing consistent and playing ready for it to take advantage. So that's good news. I mean, you don't have to be the flashiest one on the field to be the most successful. And right now, SU just playing consistent and clean. And I say that with emphasis on clean because that's so far what put 4 goals on the board and Montreal left scoreless. See if they can turn it around and clean it up quick as they have some time to settle in.
Yeah, and right now, SU, the passing lanes have opened up beautifully thus far on their offensive side, right? We've seen Pagani find 2 goals, one of them off of, well, both of them, in fact, off of beautiful passes. One from Kiazi was going for that chow, that flip up, but was able to win out on that 50, and Pagani was there to follow up on that one. But then that was that midfield pass as well from Mango. Robert on Montreal was trying to contest in the air, but could not quite beat Pagani to the ball. And that left them practically almost with an open net. Montreal was trying to get back in time on the defensive side, but could not find the counter and the save. And it resulted in another SU Hornets goal. Right as we hop into game number 2, the kickoff, this time in favor of Montreal. Yami trying to find a touch off of the wall. Kiazi winning out on the 50 and wins out on yet another one. It'll have to be the pinch coming through from Robert as they are able to find it. Gani with the clear, but Yami up top.
Yeah, we know that SU is a pretty momentum-based team. So while, yes, I've said it a couple times that there's a lot of Rocket League left, I really would hate to see Montreal fall much more behind because once Shenandoah gets rolling, it can be hard to stop them at times. So Montreal, you've been punched in the teeth game 1, right? 4-goal deficit is not a pretty score line, but the good news is it is just game 1, and what is the response?
Right now looking a lot better on the offensive side is Montreal. They haven't been able to find the net just yet, but they've had a lot more ball control and possession in this first minute than they had in game number 2. A lot of that due to a lot of double commits and some commit from their third player from that midfield, but the rotations have been a lot cleaner as well to get back on the defensive end of things for Montreal. A pass over to Fabio, but runs out of boost and cannot quite find any connection. Diemi, the one up in the air, but also cannot find the touch that they were looking for.
Yeah, Montreal so far cleaning it up on the back end, not letting any goals in yet as we are now over 90 seconds into this game. As Mango will get a good look here by himself, drops it down, but nobody home. Potentially looking to put it in himself, I couldn't quite tell, but either way it doesn't end up there. And now a counterattack there. Mango goes up high to meet him in the sky, but breaks up the play. Pagani one more time, the one to break it up, and Kiazi is gonna get a look by himself off the side, can't get it either. So again, defense is showing up for both of these teams so far, as 2 minutes in, we are still scoreless.
Yeah, approaching the halfway mark here in game number 2. Fabio up in the air trying to contest Pagani, but Pagani able to find that carry all the way to the wall and find that pinch as well. Diami now the one with the cross right over to Robert, but Mango back on that defensive side. The clean rotations coming through from the captain of this SU squad. Now halfway done game number 2. We remain scoreless thus far. Montreal, their adjustments seem to be working.
Yeah, again, I felt in game one, SU was not doing anything incredible, anything we hadn't seen before, as that time, Mango basically does all the work himself and lobs an easy ball to Kiazi. Look at this setup. 1, 2 touches right down. Robert can't make the play in time, and finally, SU does get on the board, but Montreal absolutely making him work for it.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an insane play coming through from Mango. Having that flip reset there, dropping it right down to Kiazi. And Kiazi in the perfect position to win out on that 50-50. A potential defender was there, and they did make contact, but they just weren't able to get past Kiazi's car. And now with 2 minutes to go here, it's still only a 1-score game in favor of SU after that miraculous goal from the longest 2 players that have been on this team playing together here with Mango and Kiazi now. We'll see what Montreal can do in response. A clear, just barely off target there on the ground. Just goes barely right of that net. See what Montreal can do here on this next possession.
Yeah, man, if I'm SU, I really want that one back. Fabio went for a fake there and tried to catch Pagani sleeping. It did not work, and Pagani got a free touch on the ball, almost put it in the net, and looking back on it, yeah, if Pagani was able to recognize that in time, probably could have just punched one in from midfield, but it is what it is, and what it's not is a goal for Montreal, so that's the important part. But now a minute left in this game. Mango's going to take it into the corner himself and find one more touch off the ceiling, but it is disrupted quickly. So Shenandoah slowing the game down, opting to not overcommit too much, as a dangerous ball there almost creeps its way toward SU's goal, but good, clean defensive team play to again cover all their bases.
Yeah, another thing I've been looking at here in these last couple of seconds has been the boost management coming through from both of these squads. There's been a lot of times where SU has had quite a lot, and Montreal very, very little. A little bit of a swing here, able to get those full boosts in their own corners is Montreal, but still just unable to keep up with the pace of play thus far coming through from SU. A good bump coming through from Diami as well, able to keep that one out of Kiazi's hand. That could have been a goal in favor of the Hornets, but now with 10 seconds left, Fabio, the one with the ball, passing that one off into the corner. Mango now with possession up in the air, has a touch. It's Diami there with the save and the clear from Robert, but with no one. Ooh, they do keep the ball up just barely, but it's going to be a hard cross going through. Now with 1 second left, the ball for some reason still up in the air and will finally find the ground. SU now find themselves with a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, it was an incredible effort there at the end of the game from Montreal to, play the scramble and just keep it alive as long as possible, but still not enough. But again, a very different storyline from game one. A much cleaner game from Montreal on all fronts, still awaiting their first goal on the offensive end, but where they let up 4 goals in game one, only letting up 1 in game 2, and it had to be one of the better goals we've seen in a while from Shenandoah. So very, very different narrative. And again, it boils down to, I felt like Montreal played a much cleaner game. So now both of these teams have settled in. They're playing some of their best Rocket League. It's just a matter of who can win the little things now more than the other team. And so far, at least in game 2, it was still coming up Shenandoah.
Yeah, I mean, Montreal on the defensive end looked so much better than in game number 1, right? You mentioned the goal difference between those 2 games. 4 in game 1, only 1 here in game number 2, off of a very, very good goal and execution from both Mango and Kiazi. But on the offensive side, they also looked a lot better in Montreal, but they just could not find any opening in the SU defense, right? They had shots on goal, but there were always a rotation, always a player in position to find a save and find a clear. A lot of the times it was Pagani finding a lot of these midfield clears as well to set SU up with some offensive threat. Already now off of the backboard. Is Kiazi the one to go up for it? Mango back on the defensive side, going for the double tap is Robert, but cannot make it there in time after running out of all of that boost. Montreal again now in this corner, a touch across, but no one there to follow up.
Yeah, and again, I said it last game that it felt like a really important one for Montreal. They did improve quite a bit, but this time around, there's, I think, little to no room for error. If Montreal drops down 3-0 in this series, that makes me very concerned, which on the opposite end is a massive opportunity for Shenandoah, which with a moment like this, again, overcommits, miscommunications from Montreal. They leave their net wide open from a double commit there off the touch from Mango, and bang, there's Kiazi to finish the job. Clean Rocket League from SU, and we're back to form for Montreal in game 1.
I feel like that's just a big miscommunication, right? Both players go up for that ball in the air. They both lose out on the 50 in the air, and then it's wide open for Kiazi. No one back on that defensive end. A pinch off of that post as well. Almost getting to Diami in time, or Diami rather getting to the ball in time, but can't quite get there. Mango, the one with
nobody has boost. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, no idea. Up in the air now, a shot on target from Robert Pagani is there for that save instead. Now Mango up in the air again, long ball coming through into that corner, but the defense there in time for Montreal to push that one back into the corner.
Yeah, I really love that save from Pagani on the goal line too, not only to deflect the ball, but send it to his teammate in the opposite corner. Kind of could have been caught flat-footed, especially depending on where that shot was placed, but not panicking in the moment and making a good play on the ball. Mango now just going to bang it all the way across as, again, we approach 2 minutes past in this game. Still only a one-score game, as now it has been a cleaner game so far for Montreal. Let's count how many times I can say the word game in a sentence. But, again, so far, Montreal cleaning it up a little bit, and that's really all I'm looking for. That has been the story of this whole series through 2.5 games. Montreal cleaning it up through this one.
Yeah, I mean, almost approaching the second half of this game. Number 3, Kiazi with an angle, a shot on goal, but Diami is there to find the save, find that touch. Pagani now back on the defensive end. The cross almost coming through off of that pinch, but Montreal not quick enough to try to find a response off of that one. A drop ball here midfield, 50-50 again, won by Mango over Fabio. Robert with a pass down, but it's Pagani there with the touch. The defense holding strong for SU. Let's see what Kiazi can do out of this corner. Fabio, the car getting tossed around there just a little bit, but they cannot quite find the touch they were looking for out of this corner. That will be one across, but Pagani already out of the play with no boost.
Oh, Robert. So, yep. The pace of the game has slowed down just a little bit as Mango will try to put a tight shot in there, can't quite find it. 2 minutes remaining in the game now as Kiazi does get a bit of a setup shot there, but nobody home. Fabio will take it to the other side. Low boost numbers for Montreal as they try to set themselves up for success, but the SU defense holding strong once again, and Mango now with an opportunity to take one himself, tries to go for that top right corner, but Fabio absolutely ready for it, sets his own team up, but again, these solo plays have not been the answer so far for either team.
Yeah, the challenges are just beautiful thus far. Mango with a shot on goal there. Robert, the one for that save. The challenges are going heavily, the 50-50s, in favor of SU thus far throughout this entire series. Fabio, the follow-up coming through again. Diami stuffed at the goal line, flying in with so much momentum, but runs into 2 SU defenders on the ball and cannot find an opening or anything for that regard here on the side of Montreal. Still scoreless through these 3 games, 50 seconds left. Still only a one-score game here as well in favor of SU, so Montreal have plenty of time and an opportunity here. Toss up off the backboard, no follow-up, and a clear. Mango taking it slow here out of this corner, winning out on yet another 50.
Clock's ticking here for Montreal. Again, this is game 3 in a 7-game series, but SU already winning the first 2 is horrible news for Montreal. Now 20 seconds remaining in this 3rd game, but will it be enough? Montreal really needing to find one to at least force overtime. SU doing a great job of stalling all the time in the world, buying as much time in this last minute to maintain possession and maybe continue threats as Mango takes one up top, and Kiazi, the one to finish the job. One more right over the defender. Fabio gets out of boost and lost in space, and SU puts one more in to add a little cherry on top to what will be a 3-game series lead.
I mean, Mango, I thought that was going to be a clip for him, and then Kiazi comes out of left field and just bangs the ball right into the net, just taking it right off of Mango's wheels there. So 2-0 victory instead for SU here in game number 3, but now they find themselves with a 3-0 series lead. Match point, series point, 1 game away from locking their spot into playoffs.
Yeah, this is hard for Montreal. I mean, this is your season on the line, and if you told me coming into today that SU would have a 3-game lead and that Montreal would be held to 0 goals by that point in the series, I simply would not believe you. These teams were so evenly matched statistically. They were so even on paper, and so far, the games have been close, but Shenandoah has played a much cleaner game. I cannot stress it enough. It's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds for Montreal, and that's heartbreaking when your season is on the line. You don't want to be the one to beat yourself at the finish line, but so far, Shenandoah taking absolute control of this series and just playing better Rocket League.
Yeah, through these first 3 games, there's been 7 goals in favor of SU, 0 thus far on the side of Montreal. No one able to get on the board yet, but on the side of SU, Kiazi, 4 goals in their back pocket. Mango with 1 and Pagani with 2. Kiazi's been playing very, very aggressive off of that midfield position that we often see Kiazi driving and maintaining that space, but instead it's been Pagani a lot of the time in that midfield. Mango also on this back post kind of defensive side of things for SU, and it's been a lot of Kiazi and Mango setting up a lot of these passing plays, trying to capitalize on Pagani's clears.
Yeah, and how about Pagani on the back end? I mean, we know that this player is the iron fist of Shenandoah's defense, right? He is the enforcer on the back end, and so far has let up 0 goals through 3 games. I cannot stress how important that is, especially given the direction this series has gone after such a high-scoring Game 1 into a much slower Game 2 and Game 3. All of that boils down to Pagani on the back end holding it down and keeping Montreal out of their net, and it's paying off in dividends. As we welcome you back here to the booth, it looks like Montreal might be taking their time out, I have to assume, and I think that's probably a good decision given the circumstances.
Yeah, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from Pagani specifically on the defensive side. I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but the one save that sticks out to me is all 4 tires on the ground, just sitting on the goal line, and does not shake, does not move, and is like, all right, I'm going to stand my ground, I'm going to save this ball, and does so beautifully. And that transitioned very quickly into an SU attack and an SU goal as well. So, I mean, Pagani has been playing very, very well on this defensive side so far, being able to facilitate a lot of the movement and the opportunity that Mango and Kiazi have been able to have on that offensive side is thanks to Pagani's very strong defense.
I agree. Yeah, and obviously the rest of it, in my opinion, takes care of itself, right? If you're not letting up any goals, there's only one thing you can't do, and it's go score on the other end. And Mango and Kiazi, you said it, have been getting it done and playing as a unit on the front side of SU's layout here. So again, all cylinders firing for Shenandoah. And while the scorelines haven't been the flashiest, again, you don't need to be the flashiest to come out with a win right now. Montreal with their backs against the wall, down 3 in a 7-game series, looking to reverse sweep now as we load into Game 4 post-timeout. Had a minute to breathe, had a minute to chat, and hopefully apply their adaptations now.
Robert already getting aggressive on the offensive side, but can't quite find anything. Diami there with the demo onto Pagani as well. Mango lets that one drop. Pagani, the one with the touch, the shot on goal. Oh, Pagani trying to capitalize, but can't quite find it, just barely going off that post. Now let's see what they can do on this offensive side. Does not look like they will be able to find the touches that they were looking for. Pagani not able to make contact with the ball. A little scary situation there for SU on defense, but does not amount to anything for Montreal. Clear on target, just barely misses the follow-up from Pagani. Mango, the one up in the air again, but cannot find any goal just yet. A very active first minute of Game 4.
Man, yeah, very different story so far now as Mango does put one up. Kiazi with the follow-up, but good defense, good poise from Montreal to, again, not panic, and that's been both of these teams so far. This has been a very chaotic first minute, as you just said, but both teams still holding down and knowing their job and going out and doing their job, executing their roles so far pretty cleanly, and 0 goals have snuck in just yet as Mango catches one off his backboard and is forced to carry it off with no boost.
Yeah, I mean, for a moment there, that was a triple commit coming through from Montreal, but SU was unable to find any clears. The ball getting missed there by Fabio, but will not be able to find the ground onto Pagani's car, who was in the area to try to follow up on the clear. Pagani again, but it's Diami instead to find that push off into that right-hand corner. Scoreless here through the first 2 minutes of this game, but just as I say it, Fabio finds an opening. Robert from the crossbar drops it beautifully to their teammate. Montreal now finally on the board.
Yeah, you said it, finally on the board. Step one behind you to get on the board. Montreal does find a great team play. Fabio flips one over a Shenandoah defender and gets the bump on the way down, make it 2 for Montreal. Diami taking this one into his own hands, launches Pagani into space, and Kiazi gets the wrong end of a bump on the way down. Montreal coming back with fire so far in Game 4.
That was an insane play from Diami. Being able to get that bump and, well, one, get it past Pagani with that flip up. Off the crossbar goes one. A shot follow-up coming through as well from Fabio. Cannot find any purchase in the back of the net. But now, I mean, Montreal, they look like a brand new team here in game number 4 already with 2 goals. Diami and Fabio, one apiece. A pinch cross coming through at midfield, but won't be able to find any sort of momentum in the favor of SU, as right now it looks like they're all playing defense.
Yeah, and a great bump here by Kiazi means SU's going to have numbers down the field, but Fabio the one to get back and disrupt the play, but also means a massive commit from SU. They're going to have to get back quick. Mango, the hero on that one, to again break up the play similar to what we saw from Fabio. Both of these teams stepping up on the defensive end, but SU now going to have to make some magic happen, as for the first time this series, the pressure's on them to get into the net.
Yeah, off the crossbar goes one of those shots as well as we approach the final 2 minutes of gameplay here. Diami Pagani trying to catch up in time, but can't get there fast enough. No boost in their pocket to make a play off of it. Robert with a carry into the corner and finds a beautiful double tap there instead. That's now 1 goal for each player here on Montreal in game number 4.
And they needed this so bad, I think, to mentally stay in this series. It's going to be a long 4 games if they are to go the distance and bring this thing all the way back. And this is just about as good of a way to start it as you can ask for. On the other side, though, SU plenty of game to give, and I think just need to dig deep and find it in themselves to not overreact about this game, right? You have played Better Rocket League for 3 games so far, and while this one is starting to get away from them, if maybe you find one late in the game to build some momentum going forward and stay in it, because SU has built themselves quite a cushion in this series. So now is not the time to panic whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3 games to none here on match point to punch your ticket into playoffs. One game is not going to swing this by any means. But right now, Montreal on the offensive side and the defensive side, Fabio there with that save, have been looking very, very good. Their rotations have turned up at least 3 notches on their defensive rotations, but cannot quite get enough cars in the net there, as it's Kiazi with their 5th goal now of this series to bring them within 2 with 43 to go.
Yeah, a big triple commit there from SU. If that one doesn't find its way into the net, there's some serious trouble on the opposite side of the field. But with only a minute, with under a minute left, you got to be making decisions like that, as Shenandoah wins the kickoff, threatens a quick goal, because SU's not out of this game. I should say that while I mentioned that it might be getting away from him. Pagani, though, caught a little too forward in the net, flat-footed, can't half-flip backwards, and Montreal puts the lead back up to 3 quick after SU found some hope.
Yeah, Pagani finds himself near post and not far post, and well, when you have players as good as they are on this Montreal team in this group, you're not going to miss those shots very often. Diami now going for that flip reset within those last moments, but won't be able to find anything off of it. But now with this 4-1 lead, 15 seconds to go here in game number 4. You got to think this is all done and dusted. Montreal will be able to take their first game off of this series. Pagani not letting it end just yet, able to find a goal there, bring them within 2. But with 7 seconds, they're going to have to be 2 very, very quick kickoff goals if they want to force an open.
Yeah, I don't know that this one's winnable, but going back to what I said earlier, I think that's an important goal for SU because, yeah, for not letting up a single goal through 3 games, letting up 4 in Game 4 is quite jarring for Shenandoah. Potentially 5 as one more finds its way to the net with triple zeros on the clock. But SU still finding 2 of their own and showing to themselves that they can still hang on the offensive end. So while this game ends up being a bit of a blowout and a sign of life for Montreal, again, now you look to the other side to respond. And for the first time, that means we're looking at SU to stay calm, stay in it, and win one of the next just 3 games.
Yeah, Mango and the rest of the squad only 1 game away from punching their ticket into playoffs, right? But Montreal in that game number 4, they struck back, and they struck back hard, right? 5 goals in that game to only the 2 on the side of SU. 2 from Robert, 2 from Fabio, and 1 from Diami. So, I mean, the momentum swinging in favor of Montreal as they continue to embark on this quest of a reverse sweep and try to make their way into playoffs. But SU, I mean, it didn't look good in game number 4. You got some momentum back towards the end of that game, so we'll have to see if that transitions over into game number 5, but we'll just have to wait and see what the adjustment is from SU.
Yeah, it was a long game. That was a high-scoring game, a lot of replays. It felt like that one took a while, especially coming out of the timeout as well, right? That's, I think, a lot of factors that might be going against Shenandoah, as you know, that was a beatdown. That was a massive response from Montreal, but now you get to forget about it if you're able to. Shenandoah has an opportunity with a clean slate. Here's 0-0 and 5 minutes on the clock to respond just as hard, right? There's nothing stopping SU from doing the exact same thing, and especially given that we saw it in game 1, right? We know that SU is capable of running away with any one of these games with moments like that, with missed balls, giving SU some serious windows at the goal, but that one not finding its way home. Kiazi's going to find one more little setup touch, and Mango able to squeak past one Montreal defender, goes wide. I think there was nothing stopping. Who is this? Diami here? Oh, did run out of boost. But Mango able to capitalize and starts off quick with a Shenandoah lead here 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, SU now trying to put pedal to the metal here and get off to a very hot start with 1 goal in those first 30 seconds of gameplay. Now the drop-down demos on Pagani and Mango. Kiazi unable to get back in time, and Fabio ties this one up within 10 seconds of that last goal.
That's a wild angle from Fabio. I mean, I have to give credit where credit's due. I'm sure a lot of SU was not expecting a shot from that position. So a great look there for Montreal to tie the game up and forget about the first 30 seconds, try to even things out and make a lead of their own, as Diame does get a look here, will rotate out and steal the boost and keep this play going for Montreal, as now Shenandoah starved a little, forced to go up to midfield to find boost, but they are able to do so and get a look of their own as Mango puts one on target, but another save from Fabio keeps this thing even at 1.
Yeah, props on Fabio not rotating out there off of that backboard pass, able to find that save, and now a clear coming through from Kiazi. Fabio again, the one to meet that one at half field. No boosts to work with, will try to carry themselves into the net, look for a potential bump, but can't do anything with that clear. Montreal now still on this defensive side. Fabio this time with some boost off the ceiling with the cross, drops down. The follow-up coming through from Robert is there, and Montreal now find themselves up 2-1.
Yeah, I think the difference so far through these last 2 games is Montreal is playing with some serious speed that really was not present in the first 3 games. So, a change of pace, maybe the winning formula for Montreal so far has been working out for them, and SU struggling to keep up with this little vibe change, I guess, from Montreal, that has really breathed some life into this team.
Now cross coming through. Kiazi can get there in time. No, barely, not fast enough. Robert able to find that push off into the corner. Fabio there again with yet another save. Mango with the demo. Kiazi trying to find a clear, but Diame fighting with anything that they have and is able to get out of harm's way. Mango now the one up in the air. Montreal with the clear far corner. Diame, some boost swirls off the backboard. The follow-up coming through up top. Robert able to find it, and now it's 3-1 here as we approach halfway in game number 5.
Yeah, how about it? 8 goals in the last 8 minutes of Rocket League for Montreal after being shut out in the first 3 games. This has been a tale of 2 halves, and this second half has been completely Montreal, but still plenty of Rocket League to play as Pagani gets a look and goes wide. Misses the ball, had an opportunity to cut the deficit to 1, and now Montreal will get a look on the other end. A slow look, but albeit SU still empty-handed, and that's what matters. This will stay a 2-whole game.
Pagani now up in the air again, trying to find their way through that defense, but that miss is heartbreaking in that scenario, right? You have the opportunity to bring it within 1. You cannot find the angle necessary. Pagani with another shot on goal there, but the defense holding strong still here for Montreal. Fabio trying to sneak their way through that corner, is able to do so for just a moment, but now with an open net, Mango going bottom corner. Great location for that shot to bring it within 1.
Yeah, Robert and I didn't see, it must have been Diame, both completely whiffing on the ball on what should have been an easy ball. So again, these little just self-inflicted wounds. SU did not do anything we haven't seen already, but just like that, that's all it takes for the ball to be dropping into their net. So 1-goal game, and again, you think back to a missed opportunity earlier, potentially making this a tie game, but have to shake that off. SU's going to need 1 more to keep themselves alive in this game.
Yeah, and right now with that clear from Pagani into that corner, this could be exactly what they were looking for. Diame, the one up in the air with the carry, does get past Pagani. So now, as Montreal back on this offensive side, the clear coming through from Mango. They win out on the 50-50, and so does Kiazi, now fighting off into this corner. Mango with some boosts to work with, pass down to Kiazi. Does Pagani try to follow up? No, they do not. A triple commit almost coming through there from SU, and now back on the defensive side, they cannot get there fast enough. Diame able to find a goal and now have a 4-2 lead in game number 5 for Montreal.
Yeah, Kiazi just with a awkward positioning there, couldn't get up to put a hand up, and the ball goes right over top of him, excuse me. So Shenandoah now down 2, needs to find a quick score on the back end to make this still winnable, but right now Montreal playing with serious speed, lots of demos, lots of chaos on the field, but right now that is favoring Montreal as the clock is still ticking, and that quick response I said SU needed has not come through just yet.
Yazzie trying to catch up to that ball, but can't get there in time. Pagani now the one up in the air as well. Tiami able to win out on that one. Fabio now looking for the cross, but stuffed in the corner by Mango. Kiazi tossing that one up off of that wall, but still no momentum in favor of SU. No boost to work with, and now with 10 seconds to go here, a drop-down pass caught by Kiazi. The flip up off of that wall. Pagani with a last-ditch effort to put SU within 1 in this final second, but instead it gets spiked. Now game 5, 2 in a row going in favor of Montreal. SU, do you take your timeout? It looks like they might be.
Yeah, well, you see all the headsets come off and probably needing a bit of a mental reset. Again, good news is that you have this 3-game cushion, right? You've used 2 of them, but now's not the time to panic just yet. Just got to win 1 of the next 2. So take a minute to breathe and analyze what's going on. We've been seeing Montreal, again, bump up the speed quite a bit in these last 2 games, and Shenandoah has been struggling to keep up. And I think it is sort of coming back to bite them from the first 3 games that they weren't getting incredible offensive looks. They weren't setting each other up for any crazy plays or anything. It was just very fundamental Rocket League working out their way. But now the tables have turned, right? The pressure is on SU to be the ones to make plays, and so far they just have not been able to do so.
Yeah, you can see the heads nodding from Kiazi. Headsets off, listening to their captain, Mango, trying to talk about what is going on in those last 2 games, right? And I think you've nailed it on the head. The speed has been turned up on the side of Montreal, right? The rotations have been there every time on defense, and it's caught SU off guard on their defensive rotations as well, because the clears are coming that much faster and they cannot get back in time to try to find these crucial saves, and Montreal has been able to capitalize on that change of pace. I mean, Robert now with 4 goals in this series, Diami with 2, and Fabio with 3 as well. Montreal starting to really come alive in this series.
Yeah, gonna have to see some serious poise here from Shenandoah, and a lot of it I think is gonna boil down to coming out of this timeout, right? Who scores first and how? If Shenandoah comes out of this timeout and Montreal scores in the first 30 seconds or even a minute, that's a scary look, I think, for the next 10 minutes of Rocket League. So I think we're going to have to see a quick response from SU. I said it after game 1 that Montreal got punched in the teeth, and how do you respond? Well, now SU has been punched in the teeth, right? And Montreal has more than responded through 2 games, and it's falling on SU to be the ones to dig deep and find their own solutions, whereas previously they've been able to play their own game. Now they have to adapt to where the series has gone.
Yeah, I mean, through the first 3 games, right, you have to think in the back of your head, like, oh, whoa, this looks like a clean sweep in favor of SU, and those first 3 games did not give me any reason to think otherwise. Scoreless through those first 3 games was Montreal, but now, I mean, it is just a switch of pace, a complete 180 now in favor of Montreal. The players still going through this timeout here, so we'll have to see what the adjustment looks like. I mean, I think you're right. You have to come out in this game and find a quick goal. You have to get up early and keep the pressure on. Maybe it's a change of who's playing on the defensive side. Is Mango going to try to take some more solo opportunities on the offensive side to see if that can spice up the approach on the offensive side? We'll have to see what comes through, as the players do look like they are hopping into a lobby here as we enter our fly through for game number 6. Montreal trying to keep their hopes alive and put themselves into a Game 7 reverse sweep scenario.
Yeah, in case you've joined us late, we should remind you of the stakes. This is a go 1-0 day. Win and you're in, lose and you're out. Both of these teams fighting to keep their season alive right now, with Shenandoah launching to a 3-game lead early on, and Montreal with 2 well-earned responses in games 4 and 5. So, a lot at stake, a lot of pressure on all of these players to not make mistakes. And so far, through 1 minute, nobody has let up a goal just yet. None of those quick goals have come through for either team to really put a dagger in either direction. But SU now is going to find a look on their end, but high boost numbers on Montreal. I mean, they're sitting pretty on the defensive end.
Yeah, Kiazi getting bumped in that corner as well with no boost to work with. A miss up in the air. Mango trying to get there in time, but Robert is there with the touch. A crossbar is found by Pagani yet again. A ping pong match right now on who's getting these offensive looks. We're a minute and almost 30 seconds into game number 6. We remain scoreless. Both of these teams really turning up the heat.
Yeah, Pagani with a good touch there over one more defender is going to try to drop it to his team, but Mango a little late to the play, can't quite make up the ground, so Pagani does still keep the ball, and we'll get one more setup to Kiazi, but again, broken up in the air. Montreal has cleaned up their defense quite a bit since early on in this series, and showing it right there as Fabio gets a good bang downfield, and one more touch in the direction of the net. Pagani a little awkward there, driving backwards, avoids the bump, and Diami looking for more, but can't quite find it there. 2 minutes past, it's still scoreless in game 6.
Pagani almost caught off guard again there, misses off that backflip. Mango luckily is there to find a touch. Robert now with a shot, an attempt at a double tap off of that corner again. We saw them score like that earlier in these series, in those last 2 games, but right now we remain scoreless in game number 6 as we approach the halfway mark here. SU trying to avoid the potential of a game 7. Montreal trying to force their hand here and try to pull off a reverse sweep. 2:30 to go here. Let's see what Montreal can do here on this offensive side. Diami up in the air, and they can find one already. 3 goals now for Diami in this series.
Yeah, Fabio beat 2 on by himself. Mango trying to make up for it, but Kiazi, the last man back, drives up the wall and can't get off it in time. So Montreal, the first ones to strike here in game 6. We saw just last game that Shenandoah got first blood and promptly lost it. So while I'm not set just yet on this game, right? A lot can happen, a lot of time left, especially when that man is in the air by himself. A quick response again, just like we saw last game, but this time the other direction. Shenandoah the ones to keep this alive and not let that lead grow any more than 1.
You can see the face cams as well. I was looking at Mango, no celebration at all. He leaned back and went, calm down. We're all right. We still got game to play. Kiazi did the same thing, and it was a big, deep breath coming through from Pagani on that player cam as well. It's a 0-0 ball game all of a sudden here in game number 6. Robert with the touch, but Mango with the redirect. Let's see what they can do. A backflip from Diami gets the demo, but cannot get to the ball in time. That was almost disastrous from Montreal.
Yeah, and again, that's the exact thing. That's the exact type of moment that has haunted Montreal in this series. They get away with one there, but cannot afford to be making mistakes like that. What is that pinch? You see the player cams. Mango's starting to feel it now. 90 seconds away with a lead in game 6. One win off that pinch.
That was nasty. That was exactly where you wanted that car to be. They were just trying to push it off into that side wall and send that ball up into the sky, but instead Mango playing with so much speed again now, up in the air. We'll take it all the way. I thought he did. The demo faked me out there for just a moment. I thought that was a goal explosion. Very, very close to fluffing that cushion was Mango, but still remains a 1-score game here. Montreal now on this offensive side. Fabio with the follow-up. Pagani with the touch off into the corner.
Yeah, this game is not over at all. That one would have been so nice from Mango, and frankly, I'm shocked. I have no clue how Montreal got back with their dying effort in that demo to get a touch. Not they're somehow clear of Mango, who's directly in your face. I don't know. I would need to see a replay later, but ultimately doesn't matter. The ball does not go in, and this stays a one-goal game.
Pagani not opting to follow up. Diami, the one with possession. 30 seconds left. Mango up in the air. The cross is wide open. Montreal, they didn't jump. They did not jump in the air. 3-1 now for SU.
Yeah, and look at this angle. I mean, it's just too little too late from Robert. Flat-footed in the net, trying to turn around and get a hand up. But Mango, again, just with these lethal angles, it's adding up to be too much for Montreal in Game 6 here. 30 seconds now separating Montreal and potentially the end of their season, barring 2 really fast goals starting now.
15 seconds remain. Montreal trying to grasp at straws here in these final seconds. Win out on a 50-50, but with 10 seconds left and an open net. Diami able to find the save, but with 5 seconds, no control, no pressure. Down to Fabio, trying to end the season on a good note, and they will be able to do so. But SU will take the series 4-2, win here tonight, and go to playoffs.
Too little too late for Montreal, and again, it was self-inflicted wounds, little moments that SU was just playing better. I definitely think Shenandoah earned a win here tonight. They were the better team tonight, but Montreal had such flashes of greatness. That team very much looking like they wanted to compete in the playoffs as well, but Shenandoah, those men on your screen, Kiazi stepping up big in crucial moments, and Mango, the guy behind him, is going to be causing some serious nightmares for that Montreal roster for, I'm assuming, a couple nights to come.
Yeah, I mean, Mango just taking control of Game 6 all by themselves. The solo carries, the 2 goals that they were able to find. I mean, it was just a masterclass coming through from the captain of aerial ball control. And Montreal did not have a response. They could not win out on the 50s, the double taps coming through, whatever it might have been. They looked good on the offensive side for just a moment, able to find that tying goal to make it 1-1, but they just couldn't keep the momentum in their favor, and SU pulled ahead, and they kept possession of the ball.
Yeah, and how about the poise, too? I mean, it would have been so easy to start freaking out after those 2 Montreal wins, and especially given how, I mean, Shenandoah got out to a large and early lead in the series with 3 wins, but looking back at those wins, Game 1, very commanding. Game 2 and Game 3, 1-0.
Yeah,
right.
True.
It's, again, not like SU was blowing Montreal out of the water or anything. It was just clean Rocket League. I've been saying it all night. That's all it was. And it was simple enough that it was working for Shenandoah. And all of a sudden, Montreal finds something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it was, but to be dropping like 9 goals over those 2 games after being completely shut out, it would be so easy to be rattled and panic and start making some of those same stupid mistakes that we were seeing, on the other side of the ball. But SU held it together, took their time out, took a breath, communicated to each other, and got it done in the end, and I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, Montreal in those last 3 games had, let me do the math real quick, 11 goals in those last 3 games. And SU had 7 goals, or 6 goals in the first 3 games, right? I mean, it was an absolute bloodbath of goals and a tale of 2 halves, right? But in the end, SU was able to keep their cool, keep their mental. They took their time out. You saw Mango, the captain, talking to their teammates and figuring out, all right, what are we missing? What's going wrong here? And once they were able to turn up their speed just a little bit more and match what Montreal was doing, it became a whole nother ballgame.
Absolutely. And now we look at the man of the hour, Mango, our player of the series, the one to step up when the team needed it most, making plays on both sides of the field, but especially in the air on the offensive side. You're so used to seeing it from this player when he gets windows by himself. Man, it can be lethal. 21 shots on goal. Am I seeing that right? That's insane.
Yeah, 21 shots, an absolute offensive menace here in this 6-game series. 6 of those going in, assists across the board there, 5 and 3 saves as well, as we are joined by the man himself, Mango. Thank you so much for bringing us into this interview. First things first, how do you feel about locking in playoffs?
That was good. That was great. I had fun. I mean, yeah, no, that's great. I was really confident until you showed me the graphic that said I scored 6 goals on 21 shots. That's horrid. That is bad.
Both teams. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you got.
I was going to say, both teams playing great defense here tonight. I do want to hear your thoughts about how just the games were going. Like, what were you seeing? Were you guys feeling very stuffed? I mean, you said it, 21 shots, only scoring 6. What was going wrong on that side?
So the whole plan is if we can play good first man, then our second man can thrive. Because, so what if I take 21 shots? If my teammates are scoring off of those shots because I'm forcing bad saves, then it's whatever. That works for us. So that's our big thing. I think one of the things that we were lacking the most is, good second man pressure fell off, especially in the 2 games that we lost. We kind of had the inability to follow through on our attacking efforts. So that was something that I definitely feel like was not great. Yeah, but other than that, it felt okay. We made some defensive errors. Those we cleaned up, but it happens. The game's the game. Can't change it now because we won. So.
There you go. You guys take the win. You advance to 4 and 3. And this is different than what you were playing in the last semester, right? This is Division III instead of Division IV. You're the champions of Division IV, which granted you this promotion. What has the competition been like here in this division compared to Division IV? How has it kind of changed play styles, mindsets, and what has the challenge been like?
I think it hasn't been terrible. I think it's been extremely manageable. We've had one team in our bracket. Daytona State was not. I don't think they should be in Division III. I think they should probably be Division IV because they were Division II because they were Division II playoff contenders last year. So I feel like they definitely should be up there. But every other team that we've played, I really haven't felt like we've been out of it. I feel like we're extremely close. We're right there. The 2 other games that we lost, I felt like were winnable if we were playing to our highest caliber. So the overall competition level, I don't think it's too insanely different. It's definitely manageable.
Yeah, so sure. After, I want to talk about the series here tonight because Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, right? You guys are everything's clicking. Mm-hmm. At least it felt like it, especially on defense, right? You guys shut them out completely through 3 games. And we're sitting back here expecting, a pretty solid series between these 2 teams. And we finished 3 games, and Ben and I are like what? Right. What happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose in Game 4 and 5, and all of a sudden you're eyeing a 6-7 game series.
That's crazy. I can't believe it.
Did you build that whole thing up to that? That's what are we doing?
So what's going through your mind, especially after Game 4, right? You're 1 game away from putting this away, and they respond the way they do. Mm-hmm. What's the mental of the team like in that situation?
My mental was I wasn't mad or angry or anything. I think I was just annoyed. I was like, why are you just sit, bro? Stop putting up a fight if you're not gonna nothing's gonna come out of it. We're the big dogs on the field. Stop. But no, I think the mentality there was I was annoyed. So in when I get annoyed, I get very corrective. Which hand up accountability. That's on me. We're on defense and we're missing some defensive challenges. We're challenging at the wrong time. We're not doing our full to the back post rotation, so we're getting caught in the middle of the net where we can't save a back post shot, and it's just extremely awkward. So when I get annoyed, I get corrective, and I apologize to my teammates, but luckily they give it back to me, so it's okay. But yeah, no, I think when in that mindset, I'm like, guys, look, let's just fix first things first, fix the defense. If we have good defense, the offense will come because they will start to overextend that we can counteract. But I think that was the overall thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a blowout, frankly, and then it got real close towards the end, like Chris mentioned. But, the defensive power that you guys were able to show in those first 3 games. What were communications looking like? What were your game plan in those first 3 games with being able to shut out Montreal in 3 straight games? What were you seeing? What were you trying to capitalize on in those moments to try to propel yourself forward on the offensive side?
The first 3 games, I think it was definitely we are in the good mentality of, we're in the good flow, the good mentality. We're saving everything. It's a really good feeling when you play 3 games and don't get scored on. Mm-hmm. Huh? How does that happen? But no, that was a really good feeling. And I think, in that moment, we were okay, everything's working. We're chilling, we're vibing, we have good energy. All the comms are good. We're not missing anything. In the first 3 games, I think we had, 1 bad defensive moment that didn't even end up in a goal. And then, game 4, ugh. Wow. That's a different story. But y'all asked about 1, 2, and 3. Don't worry about 4 and 5. But yeah, no. Overall good. I was telling the boys, I was look, early and often, we putting that ball in the back of the net. Because if you watch the show for a while, you will realize that Shenandoah University Rocket League likes to get scored on in the first 10 seconds of every game. And then we play from behind, and it's hard. Anyway, the motto was early and often. We wanted to put the ball away and get on the board and have some pressure because once you have 1 goal, it is so much easier to play around your opponents because then they're shoot, we're playing from behind. You catch them overextending heavily when they're 1 goal behind. That's how I got 2 of the goals in the first game or game 2 because I got 1 cherry pick goal and then the other one their entire team just was in our side and we're just what are you doing? Whatever. But yeah, walked away with it.
A win's a win. A playoffs is playoffs. So congratulations on locking your spot to continue your season here in NECC Division III. That'll do it for Rocket League here tonight. We still have some more stream coming up. We have our fighting games. Kenza playing Tekken here tonight, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back very, very shortly with those games. I've been Ben Kincaid, joined by Chris Clayton. Congratulations on playoffs, Mango. We will see you very shortly.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Hi, everyone. Bad news. We don't have Tekken tonight. Free wins, though, so that's huge. Join us tomorrow. I believe we have Smash Bros. Tomorrow in NACE. Is it playoffs? Does playoffs start? Can I confirmation on that? Do we know? Ian? Hey, playoffs versus FIU, which was our week 1 matchup, believe it or not, in our group. So we have that coming up tomorrow. So tune back in around 7, 8 o'clock for that stream. It'll be an absolute banger. FIU, a very, very good team. SU playing very, very well this whole year as well. So you don't want to miss that very, very crucial and very exciting matchup coming up here tomorrow. So thank you so much for sticking with us for Rocket League and watching our timer count down to the inevitable doom of no Tekken here tonight. So be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.